Today I want to share with you how I made this beautiful rustic looking seed tray out of complete scrap that I had lying around my garden. I love this seed tray. It's lovely and deep. Its wood is nice and thick, so it'll keep all the compost and the soil that I put in here and the seedlings roots lovely and warm. A great insulator, a great old seed tray. Okay, these are the materials that I'm going to be using. I've got some old pallet wood that I had here from an old pallet. Now you can pick these up at most construction sites. A little bit of nylon rope and a couple of nails. And that's it. The first thing I have to do is roughly mark out what size planks I need. So I'm just going to place this one on top here. I've made this about a foot inside, because I like the square foot spacing, so I plant all my seedlings according to that. So we just mark it out, and I know roughly that's how big it's going to be. Now I'm going to cut a little bit bigger because I want to use these pieces over here for around the seed tray like this. So let's get to that now. Now that I've freed up enough planks for the surrounds, I can now just measure off exactly how long I want these planks to be. So I want the one that long. Now this one's going to be exactly the same length, so let me quickly mark out these. Quite simply flip it over, we'll scribe a line here, and we'll scribe one exactly the same on this side, and then we'll cut them like that. Now let's just do this one. Okay, now I've got these two cut and they exactly the same size. Now I know that this is this side, so now I'll take this one and I'll just measure it off and mark it out. That's where I want it to be. And I'll do the next two. Now, what I want to do first is I want to fix this square box together before I fix the base. And so let me get to, I'm just going to be gluing and nailing it on. So let's get to that now. Before I take it apart, I just want to mark where I'm going to be putting the nails through. Okay, what I've done is I've laid the plank down here on a solid surface, and I've marked where I'm going to put the nails. So now I'll just knock the nails through till they come through to the other end. This plank will fit here now like this, onto this lot. So now I'm just going to quickly mark off this plank with that one, like that. This plank with that one. I know that these parts now, because I've marked them clearly over here, I know they're going to go together like this. But before I knock it together, I just want to make sure that they're going to stay nicely. So I've got some glue. Got an old screwdriver. Let me just pick up some glue and just put it along the surface here of where I'm going to be gluing it together. Now this is a water-based glue, so it should be fine. And I'll put it together like this. And then I'll get my hammer. Just make sure that it's roughly about 90 degrees. So it's nice and square. Okay. Yeah. And the same thing with this one. Check it. Yeah, that's about right. And I'll do the rest in exactly the same fashion as I've done this one. Okay, I've taken the frame now that I've just nailed together. It's still quite wet with the glue here. And now I'm going to be marking the final lines along where I want this to be cut, because now it'll be exactly where I want it. Okay, what I've done is I've laid the box up upside down, and these are where I want the planks to go. Now I'm going to nail the two end planks so that I can space these evenly out, so that there are some gaps that I know will allow for water to escape. So let me take these two off, put them over here. Then I'm going to take once again, some glue, and I'm just going to be putting it round the edges. Then I'll take this and I'll put it back Then I'll get my nails. So I'll just line the nail up nicely, make sure that I'm getting it where I want it. Get one off. And I'll do the same thing on this side. And I'm going to do exactly the same over here, on the sides here, just to make sure that it never decides to come apart. You got to look after your seedlings. Anyway, let me do the other side. Okay, I've put the glue down now. Now I'll just put this plank exactly where I want it, like that. And now I'll just take a nail, drive it home. Okay, now I've got the basic box that I need. Now I can flip it up onto its side, and this is where I'm going to be putting the handles. Now with this piece of string, and you see I've tied 4 knots in the string. Now the 2 important knots are this one and that one, so they must be the same distance, because this is where the handle is going to be, and so they must be equal lengths in the handle. So now I'll cut the string or the rope and over there and just over on this side, and then I'll make, now I've got the 2 handles, but before I go on, let me burn the ends. Now I just need to get one of these little U-nails and nail it into place, and I will do this one and then the other one, and I'll be back with you. And there we have it. I have the handle on this side, the handle on that side, and now I have a perfectly constructed seed box that will last me for years and years to come. And it's cost me, what, a couple of nails, a bit of scrap wood that I had lying around, and a little bit of nylon cord and a bit of glue. Well, I've shown you how to make the basic. Now, what you must do is also take all the edges and file them down and sand them down so that you don't get splinters. And if you've got a few extra minutes, get another little piece of scrap, cut it out in any little sort of flower shape you want, and just glue it on the front, and it just makes it look really, really nice and pretty. And I thank you for watching, and please subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yes! Please subscribe.